Call our meeting to order, 6 o'clock. Minutes, anyone see anything in our minutes?
No, I can motion to approve the minutes as provided.
I'll second that. Those in favor?
Aye.
Any additions to the consent agenda, Kristen? Bills. Anything in the bills that jumped out? I like these spreadsheets of the power.
Yeah. Well, and one thing I was noticing about the power is, while all of them, all 3 years have gone up, it seems like the grade school jumps are a lot heavier than the high school. do we have any feeling as, I mean, I know the price has gone up, but if you just compare year over year high school is increasing at a lot higher rate than high school.
Agreed.
And I would feel that the grade school should be
More efficient.
more efficient.
What about like weekend usage and does the grade school use more on the weekends than high school? would
I don't
assume it
know.
is. But the basketball and volleyball probably use more.
Consistent.
Yeah. And is there more square footage there than compared to high school?
Yeah, the square footage hasn't changed from 2022 to. this
No,
year.
I know, but
And that was a, yeah. 2.5. Yeah. $2,500 increase from,
Yeah.
but. Which I think is weird, it was actually not as much from 2023 to 2022 to 2023, and then 23-24. That jump wasn't very much, even though we had a huge freeze last January.
Right.
But then there was like $1,000 between last January and this January, which I think is interesting. We had that huge freeze, but I guess if the power is out, you're not accruing. That could also be part of it. Yeah.
and we've all seen our power bills go up.
Oh, yeah, for
Percentage,
sure.
they're gonna raise them again. I think they're talking 9 to 12% again.
Are there the electric meters down there? Or, you know, the digital ones? Or are they still coming out and checking the?
I believe they're on there. I don't think they come out check line.
They're
They're all.
electronic,
Yeah.
right?
The other thing I was thinking, maybe it had to do with the heat pumps that are struggling. I don't know if that would add to it, but that's the only thing that I was thinking about.
Work harder.
We did that, the ventilation system too, that was a system that wasn't there in 22.
Right, there you go, that do it.
There you go. And that's a big, they're big fans.
Big
Right.
fans.
Added
And
two.
that's probably it.
I do like seeing the comparisons and
Mhm.
seeing that.
Yeah, if we could keep seeing these, that would be great.
It'd be nice just to find a trend.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take a couple years, I think.
Anything else in the bills you guys wanted to comment on?
I don't think I tagged anything. I did not tag anything.
Next order of business, approval of notifications and contract, 25-26 licensed administrative staff. I think as a board, we're having questions about some of this stuff, like a little more elaboration. So I don't know if anyone discuss it a little bit, or I know we can't speak of any one individual, so maybe we need to do a special meeting or whatever you guys want to do.
I'd like to, make a motion to remove item C from the consent agenda and schedule a special board meeting to review the contents of the 2025-26 licensed administrative staff. I believe the meeting could be scheduled for Wednesday. Do you have enough time, the 12th?
It's fun.
I'm open.
6 is fine.
That would work for me.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
Okay, those in favor?
I.
Jimmy calendar.
I liked November, looked a little more manageable,
Forward calendar, yeah, we tried to get that.
so that it's no longer no school November. I
Still
like that.
choppy, but it's better than it was.
I really like them.
How many extra days do we have built in, like for the, you know, when there's snow and all that?
Based on last year.
Oh, yeah, pretty clear.
Three of them? Three, four?
We use three, right? 2 snow days and 1, for the truck.
And you develop these with the principals and stuff, the calendar, you guys are all. Alright, I guess with that.
I mentioned like the consent agenda
Modified,
as modified.
Second.
those in favor?
I,
Next thing, communications, Smile Club newsletter. Guess I didn't realize all the things that they do.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. Do we have a small club representative? They're all here tonight. Just kidding. Looks like they're very busy. Delegations and presentations, meet the teacher. Teachers here to speak.
Only from one.
Yeah,
I mean, I do title, so I just I take small groups from K-5 and we just do reading intervention for, the kids who really need just the extra time to practice reading. Yeah, these next few weeks are kind of weird because the week before spring break, we have so much going on, it's hard to do groups, but, we do, mid-February until basically spring break, I incorporate the Iditarod, which is a Alaskan sled dog race. That's currently happening right now, so we track mushers, they actually, all the kids who are, we call it Reading Academy, they all signed a piece of paper and I sent it up there in January, so one of the papers is actually on the sled. They'll get mailed back to us when the race is over and they all get a copy of it at the end, so they have a lot of fun. We go watch the race, we read all about it and yeah, kind of what we're doing in our land.
excellent.
How many kiddos do you probably touch and?
About 60, about 10 from each grade level, give or take,
And that's spread throughout the week,
every day.
every day?
Every day. And then on Fridays, we progress monitor, so it's just like a quick check-in of how they're doing on Fridays, and then 3 times a year, we do the whole school, but.
Thank you for coming.
Weston loves the Iditarod.
I still have some old kids that like come by and they're like, who are you trying to see?
Well, thank you. Next would be Nancy Griffin with the LBL ESD.
So just wanted to come and check in. Jason was sorry he couldn't make it tonight, so, I hope it was fine.
Whatever it's comfortable for you, yep.
So thank you again for always inviting us to these. We really appreciate being able to come and speak with our districts and how the boards run and so that's great. The paper that you're getting, you get this every single year. It's just, the services that we have provided for you. All of these are correct except for, I believe Peyton is back as your family support liaison now and for a while. So the rest of that would be correct. And Roger Irvin is your board director for only a short period of time left. And we haven't had anybody from the Monroe area actually apply to be a candidate for an LDL board member. So I did bring some of these handouts as well. So if you know of anybody who's interested or think would be good at it or something like that, we would really appreciate the communication with them. And again, all of the information is on this form, and I'll just make sure to give it to you before we leave. Did anybody have any questions about any of the work that we do?
I don't think so. We just went over the packet and, yeah, the services provided, so.
Okay.
So,
No changes, but all good. Keep up the time, I think.
Yeah, and we tried to rearrange it so it made a little bit more sense for people, so now it's, divided into tier 1 and tier 2, so that for districts who just want to see what the services are that they for sure get, it's easier for them to find stuff.
yep, very good.
Well, don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything, and wait.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next we have the Dragon Pride Group.
Hi, everybody. I know we were here in January, sorry we couldn't come in February. We had a lot of illness on our board. And so in January, we introduced our newer-ish, Dragon Pride Booster Club board and talked a little bit about, some of our vision, like why we're doing what we're doing and what we hope to do in the future. And so we talked a little bit about, just the things that we've done. And so some of the things that we've worked on this year, and just really how we want to continue our goal of supporting our coaches and our teams with equipment and experience requests. We want to continue enhancing school spirit and athletic participation, strengthening our community and school athletic partnerships. And then really, we want to be able to partner and support major initiatives with guidance from the school district, like track repair and renovation. And so I spoke to the grant that we wrote when Bo and I met with Miranda, the track coach, and just talked about grant writing. We were not funded the grant, the Oregon Track Grassroots Track Grant. And so we just wanted to come and we want to continue supporting our Dragons. We wanted to, I know there's kind of a big hurdle, and so that is the track, the geotech survey, all the things that it's going to take to do that. And we want to continue supporting. I guess we would just like to know exactly how and what capacity the district envisions our role is in that. Whether it's, tapping into our community support. At our auction, we did raise $1,500. With our paddles up, we did a kind of a board display and really tried to communicate with the community what the need is and how it is a great need, and how many community members and kids in our school district utilize the track. And so, I think now we kind of talked as a group, like we like, what can we do in the next year to maybe, is there something that Dragon Pride can be doing in the next year to fix the track? I know that the geotech survey and track redesign is a massive, like over $1.5 million. It was the estimate project. Is there something that we could be doing to partner with the school so that we can look at maybe resurfacing or repairing? And so that's why we're coming to you tonight, because we would really like this partnership to be something that we are deciding what next steps are, because Dragon Pride is kind of, we're just not exactly sure where to take it yet with what we have right now, other than we can continue writing grants, we can continue doing this, but, we're just wondering, is there a way to get more bids for possible repair of the track, and then you would have another number, or is it just the geotech survey, which is several $1,000s that needs to happen, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, and we're open to questions, like I said, I gave you pretty much, I think, in a nutshell, what we talked about in our last Dragon Pride meeting, and just looking for ways we can continue this to be moving forward.
Excellent. I think Bill has a little bit of information in his construction update coming up on some info we got back from a track company. So we'll have some info for you. It may not do a bunch of back and forth, Bill, but you'll hear some more stuff in the weekend. we can kind of go from there. Does anyone have any Dragon Pride questions?
Thank you for feeding us last.
Yeah.
Yes, no,
That's really good, thank you.
What are your guys' plans like for the future for auctions and stuff? Are you planning on doing the same thing at high school? Are we gonna do something different?
Well, we did start, bingo at Long Timber on the third Thursday of the month,
PM to 8-ish.
6 to 8.
We're starting at 6.
That was really, I mean, it came together really fast last month, but it was really well attended and very successful.
Okay.
Trying to tap into the community. So we are going to move the auction to the spring, which I think many of us are really happy about. Because in the fall, it's just proven challenging with so many things, homecoming, all the things, people's schedules, educators, that kind of thing is being really challenging. So we want to continue the auction. We would like to, if the bingo continues, that's just a great community event that people can go to or not. And was pretty successful. So we just kind of planned that, so we have some funds between, continue fundraising, so we're not completely liquidated by the time the next auction comes. So we did try to streamline our uniform, so the coaches know in 3 years they're on a rotation, so they'll know how much their uniforms, when they can expect those. We have an amazing community. So that's what we want to tap into. There's been a lot of support of most everything that we've done. I mean, I've only been here 5 years, so I don't know what it was like prior to that, but I do feel like we have a lot of, asking for things. And the baseball field last weekend, we put out some things we needed some sand and some loam and some fertilizer, and people, they just come together to make that happen. So it's pretty cool. I think our plan is to continue doing it, definitely trying to make sure that we're supporting equitably for programs, that need the support. Obviously, some are more expensive than others, and that's just a given. And so that's sort of our goal.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see some more creative type stuff. Maybe getting the auction out of the high school onto an off-site location, maybe to offer some other benefits.
Yeah, we were talking about that. That's been
There's
a kind of
other hurdles to
There are.
come with that, because we looked into it a little bit.
we want to have it be a community event, and so that's been if you charge admission and you have expensive tickets, you're leaving out a part of our community that likes to come. But it's not something that we, like I said, the bingo is something where you can come if you want to buy a bingo ticket at Long Timber, and they've been generous to support us in that and offer some of the proceeds from the restaurant tabs, which is great. But yeah, absolutely. Open to ideas for sure.
Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Construction update, building inspection committee report.
I don't have a vote. I was curious how we're doing on any of if Peter's gotten some stuff on the list, Mark, or where we're at as far as.
There's definitely been things marked off.
Yeah.
Smaller things that we can get to.
Anything
Yeah.
pop up?
Yeah, anything new to add to it?
So we do have, kind of moved to the top of the list is repairing the floor in the high school kitchen.
Yeah.
That's gonna have to happen this summer. And so I met with the contractor last week, and we get some more information from them and look at the different options that are out there, because there are other things you can do besides just putting linoleum back down. But, so that's, like I said, at the top of the list. We've been talking to various people about possibly trying to expand our CTE area, shop area, to the back. And so we've got some grant funding that might be able to help us out with that. Trying to figure out how do we create more usable space, even if it's outside under a cover, not necessarily in the building.
Right.
For that application. So we're working on that. Not sure how far we're gonna get on that, how quickly. Met with Miranda, the other day. Junior Dragons are gonna build some dugouts on the baseball field at the grade school. So we went down and walked around and yeah, a good setup and a good plan for, we have some small dugouts, and a little bit of fencing to make it more of a field. That's not on our list, but something's gonna happen. Also talked to, another contractor about the library and shop siding issue that we talked about, so the sod that's on this building and the shop building, which must have been built at the same time, because they're pretty identical. And so we're looking at different ideas for that. Again, it kind of moved down the list, with the kitchen going to the top, so that'll be the top priority as we go forward. And then we did get some information, we did do a walk around with, a representative from Vine Track. So we walked the track, we looked at the issues, we have the quote back, so I would be thrilled to meet with you guys and look that over and see what the plan for that is. Relatively reasonable at this point, so, but not the full scale underneath fix, just. That's it.
Have they given us a list of what types of flooring are?
No, we just started talking about it. They said the cheapest thing to do would probably be to put sheet vinyl back on the floor. I want to look at a couple of other options. Just to make sure
Yeah,
I'm not-
we don't wanna do a cheap fix, we wanna do a
Yeah,
more
I wanna
permanent.
see, you know, I also want to see like what's allowable.
Well, that's what I was
Yeah,
asking,
yeah,
like, did they
kitchen,
tell
so-
us what we could use?
No, I'm waiting for Sherry to come back. I'm gonna get a hold of Ben County and find out what are the parameters. Because they may say, no, you can't do.
Right.
I know Bill and I were talking in agreement about just the polished concrete like we did down there. But we quick mental math, square footage, and that was $7.50 a square. So figure if you're buying carpet or linoleum, that's crazy expensive. So
Well, and concrete's porous, I don't know if you could use that in a.
that's what we don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
You think they have some sort of guidance, like, here's your accepted list of things, and here's your not.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Yeah, we'll get something.
Enrollment and attendance. Administrative update. We'll start with you, Kim.
With March, 3 weeks before spring break, they always fill up really quick. Last week was classified appreciation week, so all of our non-teaching staff, the teaching staff and, those of us there recognize them, so we did something every day. We have 23 classified staff in the grade school, and they do all kinds of different things, the library, lots of student support, running groups, pushing into classrooms, custodial, all of that stuff. So definitely a really vital part of our school. And so it was nice to recognize them. It was also Read Across America Week last week. So that is a national thing that coincides with Dr. Seuss's birthday. So we did a school-wide literacy reading thing every day, which was nice to have everyone sort of doing similar stuff. It was also Spirit Week, so it was a real full busy week down there last week. So good timing that we didn't do that with daylight savings this week. So just that we'll handle this week. So fifth grade went to the state capitol. Successful field trip there. They got really nice weather, which was great. Lots of good feedback from kids, so that was nice. They got to do that. Sixth grade's gearing up for Forest Camp. That happens at the end of next month. They'll go to Camp Tadmore like they have before, so that's on the books. Eighth grade's doing a fundraiser on Friday. Their eighth grade versus alumni basketball game is here at the high school. I think doors are at 5:30 and then the game's at 6:30. There's a raffle and all that kind of stuff. We have our PBIS team this year wanted, PBIS is like our, stands for Positive Behavior Interventions and Support. So they run our school-wide expectations and rewards. They've done Dragon Ducks in school before, and they wanted to try something different. So we're doing these things called brag boards where kids can get dragon tags and they put it on their class board. And when their class board fills up, they put it on the school board, and we like finally filled up the school board, which means the Thursday before break, we're going to do a school-wide rotation kind of thing in grade level teams. So each teacher's gonna host an activity and kids get to sign up. So it'll be fun to see how that goes. We did stuff like that a long time ago, but it's the first time in a while we've done kind of a reward rotation. So that'll be nice to try. The Friday before spring break is our PBIS awards assembly, and then boys basketball versus staff game will happen that day. They're really eager for that. Had to wait their turn. Girls went before, now them. And then PTG is hosting a movie night that night in the gym at the grade school on the 21st that Friday. We're going to show Moana 2 and kind of we're going to pilot that and see how that event works, and then try again after. And then we come back and it's like whoosh, 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 and talent show. Thank you. Yeah, talent shows on the 19th. Thank you, Jenna. Lori Bechtel comes back and runs that with Rosie Furman. So they do auditions and which just means kids show up, and if they can hang like doing their thing, then they're in. And so that happens the 19th at 6:30 in the grade school gym.
What is the attendance usually like for Forest Camp? Do you have any sixth graders that stay back?
Sometimes, yeah.
And then they just follow a normal
Yeah,
schedule?
they hop on to like 7th grade or something like that, and usually it works pretty well with the teachers that are left and stuff. So yeah, there's generally like a small handful of them.
That we think like packets, like Weston got a packet last year to do, or not Weston, but the same.
Oh, for the ones that stay.
The ones that stay.
Yeah, yeah.
Excellent.
Always back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I see both. There you go.
Yeah, I think, it was pretty quiet so far this week. I think sun being gone kind of lowered the energy levels, but, spring sports got fired up. You probably saw our inaugural flag football team out on the field coming in today, so that's kind of fun. The excitement around that's kind of, been the buzz of the campus. Gearing up for senior projects, April 11th is the presentation day, so, I think seniors are inundated with a lot of things this time of year, local scholarships, county scholarships, senior project, that's kind of like the big culmination, and then after that, it kind of just fly by. Yeah, kind of one of those things, just took a group of juniors to Oregon State for a career convention, so every year we try to do two, one of the seniors, one of the juniors. The LBCC senior fair was kind of axed this year, and they're not going to offer it anymore, so now just our juniors get to go. But they said that it was a great experience, one of the better ones over the years. We're both actually interviewed some of our kids for the mock interview, so it's kind of fun to make those connections. Let's see, while the sixth graders are at Forest Camp, the last 2 years, we've had 7th and 8th grade kids come up to the high school. We call it the hands-on learning day, and so we kind of do a little mini forecast with them to see what their interests are. They come up, we kind of meet with them, and then they get to go. The high school kids have an early release, but some stay back and kind of work with the kids and the teachers, and they do shop projects, drama, culinary arts. They get to see kind of the weight room and kind of the fitness portion of it. So it's been a really well-received day over the last few years, so looking forward to that. That's the end of April as well. We're trying to wrap up, high school success funds and a lot of things going on, and kind of matching forecasting with offerings of electives that we might be able to offer next year. So wondering, gonna keep trying to gain interest. Culinary was one of the spur-offs that kind of picked up student interest, so we had the funds, and we kind of put that as grown a pretty good little program. Kind of have some interest in broadcasting with possible, like media type thing, game interviews, play-by-play, our new huddle system that we have for all sports. There's 2 cameras right now, but you can plug in and you can actually do live play-by-play interviews, halftime reports. We'll talk about using it within the day. We do our paper daily announcements, but maybe doing it student-led, here's our YouTube link, and click on it for the first period class or something like that. So trying to get kids engaged to the things that could potentially have career outcomes, but also give them something to kind of take ownership of. Yeah, just because I thought that, there's a, fundraiser golf tournament, at Diamond Woods coming this spring. I can't remember the dates, but, Chad Smith's gonna be taking over that and doing a fundraiser for the football program. Yeah, that's about it. So, not going on, but, same time.
Typical spring busy, it seems like.
Yeah, feels like it.
Hey, Bo, do you do a survey with the eighth graders coming in on CT stuff, like what they like, or?
We'll send down a Google form just to see what their interests are, and so I give them options, but not, I try not to make it too leading. They don't say like they're interested in welding, but you know, like, do you like working with your hands? Do you like, and so then based on that information, I put them in the class, this short session. And then so they get a sample of, you know, they get to meet the teacher, see the environment. I think they do 3 different sessions in the rotation, and then the next week or 2 weeks after, then I go do their forecasting and kind of talk about the specific courses they have. So,
Excellent, thank you, sir. Bill, anything you wanna? Old business, reminder, March 15th through April 15th is the filing window for annual verified statement of economic interest through the Ethics Commission. So fill out your form.
You'll send out an email, I think, or something. Does that work?
We'll get one.
Yeah.
Invite, I think, to the.
Do we have a log yet?
Yeah, that's right.
Yep, and then reminder, March 20th, is the last day to file for school board vacancies for the election in May. If anyone hasn't, please do. And then second reading of revised policy, administrative regulations and forms. Everyone will bring theirs back.
I did not.
I read that and I was like, I read that on my last packet and I didn't bring it. Who's this, round two?
Yeah.
Who's chair?
Just the 2 pages.
There's like one either or.
It's,
Take you one
yeah,
back.
code IKF, page 5 of 9.
Yeah, let's decide on little or not.
Right.
Talked about will.
Mm-hmm.
This one is IKF, it's, whether you can take the test in a different language. Yeah, any insights? It looks like I got a check mark next to Will, so.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Would there be any reason not to make it will?
That's for IKF, page 5. And then what was the other? Did you-
IKJ, page 1 of 2. It was the artificial intelligence.
Did you learn any more? My notes and Phil will tell us more.
Given the amount of AI that we see, I don't think that's really very practical. People to really find, we certainly tell people that you know, maybe there's AI. Inside everything.
So you're thinking we'll just do a one and done at the beginning of the year that
With our, the notification to Joe, yeah.
pick that whole paragraph? for
So it
full
will just
district,
be
right?
this prior to allowing students to use generative artificial intelligence as part of the class, the teacher will provide notice to parents with an explanation of its use. Because then the second one is the district.
For the school.
Right.
So I think what is, the one below, staff, what is it? So it's saying at some point, we're gonna leave, we have to leave what's in yellow, but what I think we can choose whether or not
Have that period, right?
this part, yes. But the teacher would have to.
For the district or the school.
Right.
Are our options.
So if we're choosing to do it the one at the beginning, that would be.
Obviously, the district.
I agree with that.
How will we? What will we put that in? Make sure that it's there.
Use agreement.
Okay. Do we need to put that on somebody's list? Now that this is a policy, so that it gets added? Okay.
The other option is not choosing any of it, right? It's just leaving the whole blue section out.
I think we need that. I think we should be on the district in the first year and done covers the season. You know, you're covered for the year.
Just for my reading.
Yes.
What do we call them? Second reading of revised policy administrative regulation forms to include the will in an IKF. Page 5 and 9. And then have on code IKJ, we will allow the district to use the AI in this first receipt. That makes sense?
Notify.
Notify, there we go. Good to me. Second. There you go. Those in favor? Aye. Excellent. Thank you. New business, integrated guidance report. So this is just an overview of our plan for the next few years. The integrated guidance covers three big grants we get from ODE. One is student investment account, which we've had for 4 or 5 years now. The other is the high school success account, which we've had for about the same amount of time, maybe a little longer. And then the third, which is new, is the early literacy grant, which we got last year and started using this year. So I tried to make it as simple an overview as possible. On the page that's folded are the objectives and strategies that we're planning to use. That's based on feedback, information that we've gleaned over the years. A lot of those have not changed. Besides adding the early literacy, which is obviously fairly targeted, just based on what it is. The second page is our long-term outcomes. I will have more information for you soon on how we've done so far on that. But those are objectives that ODE asks us to and guides us to set so that we can see what kind of progress is being made on those pieces. And then the top one is probably the important one. It's the budget for all three of those grants. We're trying to budget out for 2 years. Obviously, things could change in there. The student investment account, besides dropping a few pieces that we no longer do, has stayed relatively steady. Our big focus has been the building counselors in both buildings, as well as the family support liaison, behavior support through the ESD, and then adding one special education position, some student services into that. High school success, we focused on expanding our CTE programs. We also focused on credit recovery, making sure that kids can graduate. That grant has some overarching goals, which is improve attendance, improve graduation, and CTE. So those tend to be the areas that we've focused on. That's where the funding for the culinary arts program has come from. We've made several shop improvements, and we're looking at doing some more facility improvements out of that grant over the next couple of years. And then the early literacy grant, we hired a literacy EA who's working predominantly with the kindergarten group this year. And because of how the year has flowed, we were able to pick up an instructional coach, a reading coach as well. So I think that our plan is to continue that. It's not a huge grant, and that requires a 25% match from the district. So that's why there's a direct rate. It's pretty simple and straightforward, and really just trying to improve our reading to K-5, K3. So.
This was essentially, it was things you were doing, but then you had to put them on paper and convert it. Yeah. Great, thank you. This is posted on the website somewhere, I assume.
That in and of itself is, I mean,
Version
the
of.
previous iteration, the new one has. It will be.
Let's see, accept special education stipend fund from the
This is really just a heads up. They approved a special education stipend. Session, last year's session. So it came to us in the fall. And essentially, everybody in the state had access to it. So that's how it came out based on the number of people. I think they had a dollar amount, and they just divided it by the number of people that were working. It is teachers and classified staff. So hopefully for the
Is there like a minimum amount of time they've got to be spending with the
that
kiddo?
would be 5% of the day. Yeah, there were some parameters around it, so that if you were a regular classroom teacher, you might hit the mark. You had to be case managing special ed or working directly with special education students. I think it was 75%.
So it wasn't like a guessing thing,
No.
it was very
No.
specific.
Very straightforward.
And this will happen in the spring.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do it in June. We'll do the stipend.
And then is this supposed to continue or nobody knows?
I doubt it. I mean, I haven't heard any positive. One interesting thing is some districts were quite unhappy that couldn't cover payroll costs. The payroll costs run about 30%. So for every dollar, it costs you 30 cents. And if you're a big district, that could be a big number. So,
Yeah, so the staff will get this dollar figure, but then we have to pick up
30%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, do we need to accept that?
So I think it was more just.
A heads up? Okay.
There you go. Line item C here is just general discussion with the board here. I think we would like to, at some point, figure out how we can review and work through our policies. So, whichever ones we want to start with, I think probably maybe the discipline policy would be a good one to start with. I'd imagine maybe we plan a special meeting, or a work session, more a work session type thing to read through it. I don't know if you guys
I think it
want to
would probably, yeah.
get it ahead of time and
Yeah.
then make notes, and then we'll all get together.
Thinking you had kind of all of us mulling it over and then coming together and discussing it.
I'd also like to see us do our student handbook. And the policy books that they use in each of the campuses. I doubt they've been reviewed by the board, I mean, I haven't reviewed one, so it's been a while, but I think we'll probably need a few sessions, so maybe just tackle one at a time. And with the goal of having it ready for fall. Sounds good. So probably need input from, staff and, how they use it.
Schedule something else?
Yeah. You know, so
We can.
at least get the paperwork out to us and looked over and.
Do you guys want to try to do them before meetings, or do you want to have another day?
We could always do an hour before the board meeting, do a work session, and then.
It's coming on your busy time, so what's gonna be?
I'm just gonna have to make time, it's just all there is to it, I'll just have to change my schedule.
But would it be easier to do it all at one day rather than breaking? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It just has to be done.
I like that idea, the hour before, and then you have one date to remember.
Yeah.
And we're not on a time crunch other than fall, so we've got to just say, hey, we're just gonna meet an hour and get through as much as we can, and then
Okay.
schedule one for the next month and get through as much as we can.
No, I think it's a great idea.
Let's see, is our next meeting the 8th?
That's what I
No,
heard,
no.
but it could be wrong.
No, it's gotta be the 14th.
No, yeah, the 14th.
14th.
14.
I don't know why, but my calendar likes Tuesday.
So we wanna do an hour before?
Yeah, so like the 14th at 5?
What's one review on that one?
I think we'll start maybe with the disciplinary policy.
Just for policy.
Is there one for the district, or is there one for either both campuses? 3? Okay. All 3.
They're on the website, right? They're on the website.
Do you want paper copies? I would like a paper copy. Just because I can make notes easier. I don't want to stare at this thing.
Okay.
You're gonna come get it, so I don't get it. to people. We have a whole bunch. I can send it out early. My mouth's a little full is all.
You didn't receive any public comment forms, did you?
No.
Okay, with that, we adjourn.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you for
Yeah, thank you, everyone.